Hi, this is Trang Pham. I'm a dietitian at Health Promotion and Wellness, and today we're going to be answering some questions about eating on a budget.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I have a question. Is buying in bulk worth it, and what are some good items to buy in bulk?
Buying in bulk can be a great way to stretch your grocery dollars. Buying large quantities makes sense when we're talking about essential items or items that you're going to have an ongoing need for. Buying in large quantities also makes sense when we're talking about non perishable items that you or your family eat a lot of, like rice, pastas, those types of food. One of the biggest benefits of buying in bulk is that it is almost always cheaper per unit, and the pennies that you save over time can really add up. Other great reasons for buying in bulk include fewer trips to the grocery store. So, this means a savings of both time and gas, less chance of running out of a needed ingredient while you're preparing a recipe at home. But probably one of the best reasons for buying in bulk is that you're going to be more prepared for emergencies. So, let's face it, disasters do occur, and having a few days or few weeks of non perishable items on hand can be a great help. So, buying in bulk makes sense in some situations, but it doesn't make sense in all situations. So, before considering buying in bulk, you should ask yourself the following questions: can I eat it all before it goes bad? So items like foods like meat and breads, they can be frozen, but other foods such as fresh produce with high water content and milk and eggs, they can't be frozen. So if you can't eat it all before it goes bad, you're probably going to have to throw it out. So this is going to be an increase in waste. Another question that you should ask yourself is the price per ounce cheaper than what I can find at my grocery store? So if it's not, then don't buy it in bulk. Another question you should ask yourself is, do I have the space in my fridge, freezer, or pantry for this larger quantity of items? If you have storage issues, then maybe bulk buying is not the solution. And the last question you should ask yourself is, will I really use this product or eat this food? So just because it's available in bulk and it is cheaper per unit than what you can get at your grocery store doesn't mean you should buy it if you're not going to eat it or you're not going to use it. Because if you're not going to do those things, you're probably going to throw it away, and that's going to be a waste in money. So if you answer yes to all of the questions that I just asked, then maybe you should consider give bulk buying a try. Some great items to buy in bulk include cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, rice, dry beans, toiletries like soap, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, those types of items, as well as canned goods like tuna, tomatoes, beans, etc. Now, some items that you might want to avoid buying in bulk include milk, eggs, and produce that have high water content, such as lettuce, celery, and cucumbers. These items are kind of unappetizing when you thaw them out because they're kind of soggy and waterlogged, so you might want to avoid those.
Hi, this is Leanna. I want to know, how can I still eat healthy while on a tight budget?
So, eating healthy on a budget is totally possible, but you have to be strategic, you have to plan ahead, and you have to be able to stick to your budget. And healthy doesn't have to be expensive. One of the most important things that you can do is to plan ahead at home. And what I mean by that is to plan out your meals each week by looking at recipes, searching for coupons and store specials on store apps that you can download onto your phone, looking in your pantry, fridge, and freezer for items that you already have on hand, and then start building your healthy meals around what you already have and what's on sale for that week. That way, you'll save more and you'll waste less. And then once you know what you're going to cook for the week, then you can sit down and make out a grocery list and of the things that you need. And when you get to the store, you should try your best to stick to that grocery list so you don't end up buying things that you don't need. So when you're at the grocery store, I would definitely recommend that you compare prices. Look at the generic and the store brands and compare them to the price of the brand name product, and you'll see that there's quite a bit of a difference. And in terms of ingredients and quality, oftentimes the generics and store brands are not that much different from the name brand product. You just won't have the higher price to go with it. I would definitely recommend using coupons and specials that the stores are providing, and you can find out what those are by using the store apps on your phone. But I would caution that you should never buy a product that you don't need or don't plan to eat just because you have a coupon or if it's on sale. I would also recommend that you consider buying in bulk if it makes sense for you. I would also recommend that you take advantage of seasonal produce. Um, Buying produce in season oftentimes mean cheaper prices because when produce are in season, there's going to be a larger supply, and so that's going to cause the prices to go down. But eating in season also guarantees that the product that you're eating is going to probably be more flavorful, and it's going to probably be more nutrient dense because the produce that you're eating are going to be allowed to have the long maturity times that it needs to develop flavor and nutrients. And so I would strongly recommend that. Another thing that I would recommend is to consider buying canned or frozen foods for items that are out of season. Canned frozen products often have longer shelf life, they're less expensive, and they're just as healthy or even more healthy than their fresh counterpart because the frozen and canned items are processed at their peak ripeness. So they're going to have those flavors and those nutrients that I was talking about because they have a longer time to mature. And then lastly, I would encourage you to have a snack before going to the grocery store if you're hungry, because you definitely don't want to shop on an empty stomach, or you're going to come home with a bunch of stuff that you don't need and you're going to wind up blowing your grocery budget. So I hope that was helpful.
For more answers on eating on a budget and other nutrition concerns, contact our dietitian to set up a screening appointment.